Welcome everyone to the Beyond the Body Count podcast. We talk all things horror, DIY, and beyond. And I'm Charles Chudabala.
I'm Jennifer Nangle.
Yeah, and we're here to please you, or to bring you joy. Or we're here to
Wait,
entertain.
what are we here to do?
Just, yeah,
It's
I'm gonna
it's
have to,
definitely a Friday afternoon where we are both losing our minds. So here we go.
absolutely.
I
I'm gonna blame it on
apologize.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, and oh, okay. All right, we're blaming it on ChatGPT because I was going to apologize, but if it's ChatGPT's all fault, then no apologies in the beginning necessary.
Love it. Wow. Well, you have nothing to apologize for, friend. Only to celebrate because you just got back from Florida.
That I did. What a journey that was.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about it. Just so you know, like everyone listening or watching, or definitely watching this is the first time I've seen you in like 2 weeks or a week and a half. Like I have separation anxiety
I was
in
going
a
to say
way, and I'm like,
separation anxiety for sure. Yep,
yeah. So we're
100.
gonna be catching up with each other in real time because I have to know how everything went at Tampa Bay Screams. You were the queen of the con. You did a convention out in Florida, and I mean, people got to do meet and greets with you. You got to meet the people on the East Coast. How goated?
Woo!
How did it go?
Woo! Florida did not disappoint. We've been doing conventions like over a year and a half now, and like it's gotten more fun for me. The first couple of cons that we did, I had severe anxiety before some of them. I mean, I know right before Days of the Dead Los Angeles, I was having like a panic attack one morning because I was like obsessing about like what I was going to wear and all this kind of stuff. And now, like year and a half in, I'm like, whatever happens, happens. Here we are.
Well,
So,
you're such a pro when it comes to these cons, and I love
oof.
watching you, and I love when we get to do them together because I learn from you. And the thing is, you never look nervous, you never look panicked, you never the things that you're describing, like people can't tell. Like what is going on within you, but you're always, I mean, you give every single person who comes to your table like your full energy, your full presence. You humor them, they laugh, you make them laugh, and you make it fun for everyone. And it's just like, and I'm just like, man, the lightning rounds. I'm like, I need another energy drink. But
Well,
it's
I did learn from the best. I will say I did learn from the best. Yeah.
yeah, C4.
So, well, I meant Charles Chudabala, but we can also talk
Oh,
about C4 too.
yes.
But I flew into Fort Myers, Florida to see my parents for a little bit, and then my mom and I traveled up to Tampa so that we could hang out with my cousin for a night. And the next morning, we went to the convention. And as we are driving to the convention, it starts to monsoon out. Now, living in California, we're not used to that. So this is Florida living. So it's monsooning. And of course, as soon as I'm supposed to get out of the car, trying to look as elegant and, airbrushed as possible, the rain comes down even harder.
We're waiting for you.
Yeah, it did. It couldn't wait to cry. Tears of joy that
Tears of
I was
joy,
there.
yes.
And so I was seated kind of like in the back next to the opening of the area. It was like oh gosh, I forget what they call it. Not an atmospheric. So it was basically a covered opening that we were at, and I was right next to the opening. So it was also raining on me. Thank God I'm not a wicked witch, or else I would have melted away. And
Only bad witches are ugly.
well,
Yeah, that's
Mel,
to quote Glinda from the original FGM. Only bad witches are. Sorry. I found an opportunity to do
hey,
to,
we got to bring it back. We definitely got to bring it
every
back to
time.
the
Yes.
wicked witches and wicked and
Oh,
yes.
gee.
But after the rain stopped, it was the most amazing day ever. Malvolia Halloween special this year screened, and it looked so good on the screen, I was amazed at how gorgeous it looked, it sounded. I was so proud. In fact, I had the woman that was in charge of the film festival thing. She had come up to me and she was very, very sweet. She came up to me twice and like told me how great that she thought that the special was and everything like that. And then at one point she was like, "Was the director able to come out?" And I was like, "Oh, that's me." So that was a lot
Yes
of
and
fun.
yes.
That was a lot of fun. And then just interacting with a lot of the supporters and fans and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't get any better than meeting people for the first time and trying to like go through my spiel of who I am and what I am. Because when we first started out in the convention circuit, like nobody really knew who we were. So I kind of got down this little lingo of, "Hi, my name is Jennifer Nangle. I'm Elvolia, the Queen of Screams. Are you into horror hosting?" That's what I do. But about 75% of the time I get stopped and people are like, "Oh, I know who you are. I've watched all your work. I know exactly who you are." And it's like, really? Can you say that a little louder and so my mom can hear? But who
Oh,
always comes with me
proud
to the
mom.
conventions. Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, Tampa Bay, you were awesome. You were awesome, awesome, awesome. And I got an open invite. So anytime I can go back, I'll be
Yeah.
there.
Gosh. Please take me with you next time. Take me with you. I got to experience it.
Be careful what you wish for, but yes, absolutely.
Okay. Oh no, I want. Hey, I'm. I want the monsoon. I want the monsoon. I'll take it all. Yes. It's and that's why you do this. Like that's why we work on our craft. We create. We put stuff out there. For the hope that it gets seen. You know,
Yeah,
and then for it to not just get seen and know that it gets seen, but then you show up to a convention where they're screening it and you're getting to introduce it and be there, for a brand new audience. And it also looks, I'm probably sure, sounded amazing and looks because you pay attention to detail when you're shooting these things. You're like, okay, the lighting there, the shots that I want, and you want these details to shine. And then I'm sure it's also like looking at kind of with a large magnifying glass, I'm like, oh, oh, that little detail definitely shine.
and everybody looked stunning, like KJ and Ashley and you and Garrett and just everybody popped, like Mark's makeup, like props to
Mm.
Chronix EFX, like the blood pour. I mean, it just looked so beautiful. And I just was like, "Oh my God, we made that. We made that." So, I mean, it doesn't get any more real than being season 7, and still being like, "Oh my God, we made that." So, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it was such a good time, good week. Yeah,
ta- taking that and receive that, friend. You deserve it. You work so hard, and that's like that's that humble spirit of just like it's season 7, and we made that. You're still like excited for all of the wins, every single win that counts, and that you pulled it off. And people around you like season 7, like you've got this in the can now. It's like, well, no, yes, but we still get a little nervous. We still prep last minute things and hoping that we can pull it off.
for sure. Especially like doing everything ourselves too. It's like working and then, having to run to the grocery store and get crafty and just making sure that everything is ready to go. And do I have all the
Yeah.
props ready because I'm responsible for everything? So, whew. I did have
Wow.
one moment, and this is going to sound so arrogant. Maybe arrogant is the right word. I don't know, but I have to share. Okay. So I know that we've seen this like on TV or we've kind of seen it with bigger stars that, when somebody approaches you and they're like really like nervous and giddy, but excited to like talk to you and stuff like that. And then once they're done like talking with you or interacting with you or whatever, they'll go off to somebody that they're there with and just kind of like, share the experience that they just had about how excited and how wonderful it was to meet that person and stuff like that. I actually witnessed that. It was like, this person was so excited to meet me and then went,
Get it. I get it. I can't believe I'm here. I'm doing this podcast with you. It's like, you don't know. Like, my mom is right there. I'm like, it's just,
"Oh, stop. Oh, stop it. Stop it. You're going to give me a big ego." But anyway, it honestly was like the most cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. And this person has become one of my favorite people in the entire world now. And it was just such a surreal, just incredible moment that I hope happens one more time, but I don't know if it will or not.
Many, 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 many more times. Many more times. That is so cool. And also, like, how do you even like? I get it. It's like, how do you react? It's like, it's also this is so awesome. But it's also that's me. But I had out of body experience about you. But then you're also the Queen of Screams, who was flown into Tampa Bay Screams as well. So
Lots of
you're like,
screaming.
yeah, but it's like you're there, you're owning it, but you're also like, oh my god, but you're owning it, and that's the cool thing. They probably don't realize is that you're also kind of in a really weird way fanning up about the same
Them.
experience. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It was crazy.
Oh,
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
they'll know who it is. They'll know who you're talking about when they tune into this podcast.
I hope I didn't embarrass them, but it was absolutely adorable. It was
No,
absolutely
that's
adorable.
awesome. It's a shout out. That sounds like a magical time. Because I was just going to ask you what the highlights of the con were. That sounds like a
Yeah.
huge highlight. Yeah, and
Yeah.
being able to screen Malvolia season 7 as well. Anything else that happened there? No. By the way, for people that listen, this was a day. This wasn't
Just
like a full like week or
just
a
6 hours.
weekend.
Yeah, just 6 hours.
Wow.
A lot happened in six
Wow.
hours.
Yeah. Well, it's you came, you did the damn thing. I'm so proud of you.
You also came up, by the way, because I did run
Oh,
into Dustin Hubbard
Dustin Hubbard.
and
He was just
Michael.
messaging me. Oh, I love them. I was literally just talking with Dustin yesterday. We're talking about you. He told me how lovely it was to meet your mom. He's
Yep.
like, Jen is so great, and he sent me a picture of Irrational Fear.
Yes, he bought Irrational Fear, which was so cute. Yes. So we need to have a movie night about it's called What's the movie? The title movie you're in?
Inheritance.
Heritance. We need to have a movie night about that.
Yes. I know. I mean, we're already talking about like going to Florida and like shooting something else. So get ready.
Get me in there. Get me in
Let's
there.
do it. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I told Dustin, I'm like, yeah, it's like it's been way too long. He's like, it has been way too long. He did tell me, he did tell me that he got flooded in his area,
Yes, we were right
but
next to one another. It was like a corner that we were in. Yes. Yes. Like I
oh
could
my
reach out
gosh,
and touch him. And they had electrical cords and there was this water that was coming and I'm like, should we be nervous about that? And my mom's like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, yo, I'm scared we're gonna get electrocuted. But anyway.
Volio would be all about it, right?
Shh, the
No,
power.
it's like the Adams family play with your food. Yes,
Which other
absolutely.
victims can I get? Yeah.
Which other victims I could get? Yeah, he did say that. He goes, yeah, she was kind of like, wasn't like where I was, but I'm sure they were also freezing too. It was like no one was safe.
Yeah, and I definitely wore like this very short, nothing dress too on the
You look
most monsoonish
stunning.
day. Thank you, friend. Thank you. That's
You look
very, very kind.
stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was also it was chilly. Yeah, but you got to take one for the team to look good. So
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you. People were asking me how I was doing, when you were gone. I said, well, she's taking one for the team. So we're good, we're good.
we're good now. We're good.
We're good.
Everything's good.
Yeah. They're not landing. It's Friday. Every joke I'm making is not landing to me.
It's okay. We're just smooshing through this.
We are. I mean, we were catching up, friend. It's so good to see you. You look
You too.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell me, what have you
Mm,
been up to
what have I
when I've
been
been
up to?
gone? Yes, while I've been gone. What have you been working
Well,
on?
well, I've been podcasting, and so it's like,
Without me?
oh. Well,
Cheating on me?
I have another podcast, which you have an open door. We have an open door policy for you,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I had an amazing interview. I have a spirituality podcast, and I interview like healers, people out there that are advisors, way showers, people with knowledge about just the cosmos and everything. And I had on a referral from you, a returning guest, psychic medium Sabrina Von Stock. It was such a healing and emotional. Oh my God, we gushed about you.
I need to watch this now.
This is how all of our stories start. It's like, oh, by the way, you came up. Our posture is always like, hey, tell me.
Tell me all about how I came up.
She was telling me that she's loving what we're doing, loving this.
Yes.
And she's
Yes.
just like, Jen, she always looks beautiful, Charles, but she looks beautiful. It's like, she's beautiful. That she always does. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like, yeah.
That's why she's my friend.
We were just talking about how great you were, and yeah, and so thank you so much for the referral. This is her second time back, and it was a wonderful conversation, and I've got more episodes coming out. It's been very well received. I just hit another milestone in subscribers on my channel, so I'm really excited. Just hit 401 today. It was 400 this
Woo!
morning. 401. So I'm on my way to 1,000 soon. 500, and
It's coming. It's
we got to
coming.
celebrate our victories, because this
Getting
YouTube algorithm.
getting subscribers on YouTube is the most difficult thing I've ever had to do ever. Especially Instagram too. Instagram is a little bit easier, but YouTube is really, really difficult. So every subscriber you
Well,
get that stays is a
yeah.
plus. Yes.
I mean, it is pretty hard, but I one time I had to do like I think drywalling. I was helping my friend's family was moving, or they were realtors, and they asked us to go paint and do some drywall. That was pretty challenging. It's just, this is the Friday, bro. This is it. That was hard.
I don't deny that.
No, I've never done it since. I
I don't blame you. That's
knew.
labor. So, I guess getting subscribers on YouTube's better than drywalling. We learned something new tonight. We learned something new tonight, y'all. Tonight. Don't ever drywall. Just do YouTube instead.
Both feel like a never ending game. Both feel like a test.
What are we talking about right now?
Both insert no sympathy here
This
from
is
everyone. Comment below if you care so little.
this is like the Dawn spray wash segment from last time, which people were digging, by the way. So, drywalling. Come back here for tips from us.
I started diving into the analytics, right? And there's a graph. It's just this, a Dawn Power Wash.
Wah, wah.
Now, what the drywall is happening? Why?
We tried. We're trying,
Let's try.
people. We're trying. Yeah. I'm going to swing back to Sabrina. I just want everybody to tune into that episode. Sabrina is the real deal. This woman is just on par. She has told me things that I never dreamed of. She's given me advice on things that have been successful and have worked. So if you can catch that episode, I'm sure whatever Charles asks her is super intense, super real, and it's probably chef's kiss. So go
Oh,
watch it now. Watch it now.
thank you. It is a good episode. And something happened right in the middle of it, which I did not expect. She started reading
Exactly.
me. Yeah. Yes, you got to check it out. And then what happened was it was very emotional. There were tears. Things that I've locked away since I was a kid, never talked about, never even thought about, nor remember came back. And so we were like, it was. I had to call my mom afterwards, like, Mom, remember when this happened? And I told Sabrina, and it was a powerful episode. I did not expect that to happen. Obviously, I felt safe, safe
Yeah.
container, and with full permission, of course. She's very but people watching the episode are receiving a lot. They're feeling like they're hearing exactly what they need to hear, like that she's speaking exactly to them. So go check it out, everyone. Uncaged Mindset. Go check out. I got over 175 videos on that channel,
And
all free
subscribe while
content.
you're
Go
at
check
it.
it.
Yes.
Hey, and subscribe to this one first, please.
Oh yeah, hit that subscribe button
If you
here
want
too. Because it's hard to get subscribers like it is putting up drywall. Yeah.
I was 19. I was 19, and his parents said that they would like take us to In and Out. Like,
Trusted a 19-year-old to put up drywall with no experience
no,
or anything. Wow.
no.
Wow. I learned something new about you today.
It's 19. Oh yeah, I'll tell you the whole. We don't want to talk about that story. It's just, I'll tell you all about it. It's really not that exciting.
Deep. It's deep.
Yeah. And yeah, so like, but yeah, thank you so much for the plug. We got to support each other here, promote each other's all the things that we've got going on, and also I'm gonna just put a shout out here. Anybody watching this episode right now, if you've got a link to something that you want us to follow, please link it below in the comments, and I will check it out. I'll follow it. Got it.
Yeah.
We
We'll
all come up
follow.
together.
We'll comment. We'll subscribe. We ain't afraid of subscribing.
Sure. Yes. So yeah, we got to go to Florida. We got to go make a horror movie. I told Dustin, I don't know, friend. I get in these moods. I don't know about you, creatively, where it's not just I want to go create something, right? Which that's always there. I always want to create. I'm always flexing those muscles, but there's specific moods. Okay, there's specific moods. I'm gonna share this, and you tell me if you can relate. Everybody listening, you can relate to this. It's like there's like a menu of different food types and choices, and I have an appetite for something different, like different types of the types. It's like just get to the point. Like what the Dorit Kemsley? What's happening right now? Sorry, that was now we're getting into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Sorry,
Just
I
get to the
know.
point. Our
Sorry.
guilty pleasures. You just open that Dorito bag.
Get your Dorito back. So right now I'm in a mood, right? Where I want to make something weird. Okay. Yeah.
Weird. 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 All right, so how weird? How weird are we getting? Because I think this is already weird.
Oh my god. Did you like the season when like episode 4 is really that filler episode? This is like episode 4. It's equivalent to those time travel episodes that they do. Where it's like it's not adding anything to the supernatural franchise. You can skip it. We'll get back to the plot in episode 8.
Don't fast forward through us, though. You never know what's going to come out of our
No,
mouths.
no. Yes. So I don't know why that set me off too.
This is what happens when we
Um,
get together.
man, it's been a
Trouble.
while. Yes, that's what this episode's going to be called.
Trouble.
Trouble. Laugh out loud. Please laugh with us. It's like when they do the Wicked screening that's just like the sing along. This is like the laugh along.
We need our laugh track like right
Laughter
here.
track.
Insert.
Yes. But I told Dustin, I was like, yeah, Dustin, let's make something weird. I want to make something weird. And he's just like, yeah, let's talk. Just come to Florida. He's like, I only live an hour from Jen's mom or Jen's parents. He's like, I didn't realize I only live an hour. I'm like, yeah, let's make something this year. So I'm in the mood to make something really strange, experimental, and weird. But there are other times of the year where I want to make something serious, something like, oh God, I was about to say elevated horror.
Oh no. Oh no. Don't stigmatize yourself. I don't know.
I get in my moods where I'm like in this mood for something serious. No joy. No, just like make the film devoid of any levity. Just all serious and macabre. And then I'm like sometimes in the mood to do something a little bit more character driven or in the monster. I don't know, like you know, or document. Anyways, I was
Yeah.
about to say documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes I want to. Right now, I'm in a very like let's go make something weird, like weird.
Weird.
How many times can I say?
Weird. Weird. We could just say weird to a camera
Yeah.
lens over and over and
Mm.
over again.
Oh my God, this is gonna happen right now.
Weird. Weird. So weird.
This point.
I think we've lost everybody at this
I'm
point.
like, well,
If you made it this far.
value like this. This is what you're gonna get. But anyways, like, can I? If you feel comfortable sharing, you don't have to share. But if you can relate to what I said, what like do you like experience these moods, or what season would this be for you if you were to create something, or maybe you're going to keep that close to the vest?
I never really want to make anything weird. Like, I would love to participate in weirdness, but like, I always love story, realism. I like people that can relate to my stuff. I mean, not like people can't not relate to weird, but they have to like come up with it on their own brain. And a lot of times we lose people nowadays with the attention spans of like nothing. So when you want to do weird, you got to be like weird. Have I made anything weird? I've never really made anything weird. No.
No, but you're correct though. Like I think you participated in the weird. I think you participated in the weird, but you haven't like spearheaded your own weird.
No, because I don't really think about like think weird. I think realism.
Well, I could literally name drop right now, but I'm not going to. But
Of
some
what I did
title, yeah, some titles that we both been a part of, like weird things. You know what I
that
mean?
were weird.
Well, okay, see, I'm being very vague about what I'm defining as weird, right? So I haven't really
Okay,
defined it.
so I'm thinking of like hereditary weird or
No, that's
like
elevated horror.
oh that's
That's elevated horror. That's what they're calling it these days.
it's weird
But
though. It's weird. Like in the glow of the TV,
A24,
A24
well, yeah,
to me is weird. Yeah.
yeah, they make a lot of weird movies and
Yes.
or elevated horror movies. So you know what? Maybe I do want to make elevated horror.
There you go. This therapy session has been brought to you by
Wow.
A24.
Well, the
Please get in
sooner
touch with us.
now that I've accepted, it can lead to change.
There we go. Yes, you pinpointed.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, that's it. That was it. Okay. Well, then speaking of elevated horror,
Mm.
or actually, I'm going to use a different word. Movies with impact. if we've got some time right now, I think we've got some time.
We
I'd
got
love to
time.
discuss. I'd love to talk about a movie called Blink Twice, which
All
came
right,
out
so we may be giving
last year.
spoilers right now. So if you have not seen Blink Twice and you do not want to hear possible spoilers, stop this right now.
Stop it right now, or we'll just like this will be part of episode 5, a Blink Twice spoiler review. How about that? Two episodes for the price of one.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, this movie had impact. You got to
Hmm.
see it on the plane. I saw it last year. I saw it when it came out. The weekend it
Yes,
came out. I went and saw it by myself at the theater. I go to, by the way, I go to movies by myself. I love it. I love it. I love it. So
I think that's the best. It's the best going to
I,
movies by yourself. Yes.
I love it. And if you go during the week, there's like barely anybody there. I just love it. I just get to experience it. But that movie impacted me. And when I saw it, there was like no one around me who had seen the movie. But I was talking about the movie, and people were hearing about the movie. And the poster doesn't really give a lot away. But once you
No.
see the movie, you're like, oh, but you could walk past that poster and never know that it was a horror movie, or never know that it even starred Channing Tatum, or even know that like, it's a, but it, well, trigger warning. Trigger warning. It starts with the trigger warning.
Hmm.
So now that you've seen it twice, you saw Blink twice, right?
I saw it twice. Yeah. So, ooh, oh, oh.
Because
I don't have it. You all fancy with your phone over there. Um, there we go. I did see it twice. And the reason I watched it twice and was really blessed that Delta Airlines had it on their screens was because you had recommended Blink Twice. And my friend Jewel watched Blink Twice. And her reaction was, whoa, I didn't know Zoe Kravitz directed that. That was crazy. So immediately I'm like, okay, I really have to see this. I really have to see this. So I took a red eye to Florida and I saw that Delta had it and I was like, all right, I'm just going to turn it on and see what happens. And yes, it starts with that trigger warning. And I'm watching this movie and I am borefest. I am borefest. I'm like, this is kind of like every movie that we see. What is so great about this movie that that my two friends are talking about? And like, why were they like, you have to see this? And boom, then it explodes. And I'm like, oh my God, I get it. Now, the reason I had to watch it another time was because I was on a red eye and I was kind of falling asleep in and out. But I was so angry at myself that I was so like, this is so boring that I wanted to see and catch on the things that I had missed in the beginning. Because if you are paying attention, you are noticing the little things that are leading up to what happens and why
yes,
they
the
happen.
breadcrumbs. Mm-hmm.
Such breadcrumbs, such foreshadowing,
Yes,
such, I
including the opening
mean,
shot, the opening shot of the movie, like the gecko or the lizard or whatever. You're like, what does
yes,
this even have to do with anything? But yeah, go on, go on. I'm loving this.
yes. And so I just, second viewing, I was like, okay, I get it. Applause to Zoe Kravitz because I never really liked celebrity kids. I feel like they always have an easy time in this industry or a lot easier time than I do. But girl, yes, 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 yes. I just loved how it was written, how it was pieced together. I loved all the little clues that they give you. I just really loved everything. I loved the female empowerment. I loved that she talks about women are brought around to not really support each other or fight the fights together or whatever, and then they literally have to fight this fight together, and they realize this, they have this realization, and I just loved everything that it said. I loved how it was pieced together. I love the little pieces. I love how you find out how everything happens. And Channing Tatum, I'm also not a big fan of. Okay, I get it. I get it now. I get it. I get it. I got it. I get it. I get it.
Well, yeah, I felt the same way. I felt very so. I've only seen it once. I saw Blink Twice once, but it left such an impact that everything you're saying right now, it's all coming back to me. and it did leave me with some questions. It did.
Oh,
So just
absolutely.
since this is a spoiler, kind of like a spoiler review, we're going to kind of go into it because I have to ask these questions that I have.
Okay.
Brief synopsis is Frida. There's a girl named Frida, and she's got a best friend, and I think that they work at these galas,
Catering
yeah,
galas. Yes.
a catering gala, and I guess like they're serving at this gala, but like the manager's kind of saying, hey, you were a little too chatty last year. I think he even tells her to disappear or be invisible or something
Yes.
like that, right? Yeah, like
Yes.
go,
Like every
like
woman is told. Yep. Hmm.
right, you're just go smile. No, Zoe, come on now.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
messaging in this movie was just spot on, and it was just so good. And so they're there, and then they bump into Slater. Is it okay? Uh,
Slater
Channing
King.
Slater King. So Channing Tatum plays this like big CEO. I don't know if he's tech giant. That's another question I had because the movie opens and there's some scandal that happened. I never understood what this scandal was surrounding him. If I didn't know, but it was like some tech giant or some social media. And because she's scrolling through the phone and we're seeing all this, she runs into him. I don't know if she spilled a drink or something, but he kind of takes liking to Frida, and then he invites Frida and her friend to like his island. And at this point, I'm like, oh, I think I know where this is going. This is going to be like an Epstein Island type of situation.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're like, really? We can go to your island? And he takes them to the island, and he's surrounded by like these friends of his, which also has like Christian Slater is one of like the
Haley
guys.
Joel Osment.
Osmond, yes, and even I think uh uh gosh from from Kill Bill, Uma Thurman's son, that son plays the one who the skinnier one as well.
The younger guy. Yeah.
The younger.
Gina Davis plays the assistant.
This is just like star study. And by the way, Christian Slater looks good. Like
Oh my
I'm
God. He was great. He was so creepy. He's like that creepy dude you run into in LA all the
yeah,
time.
perfectly cast. Like they were all just giving it and giving it. So okay, let me see how do I make this go quicker? Well, anyways, they make them all wear white. They really didn't pack much, and they're kind of given these like gift bags into each of their rooms, and there's like some perfume, and but this entire week is just like drinking drugs and drinking and shots and smoking up this entire time, and then. But we also see that there's also these island workers who work on the island that are like their jobs are to kill all these random snakes. And you're like, what is going on? There's also like a medicine woman, and there's all of these things. And the medicine woman keeps calling Frida Red Rabbit the whole movie. And
Hmm.
you're like, where is this even going? But you know that they shouldn't be on this island. Um, and then there's like so there's also this flower that I think makes you forget, right? Is it's
Yeah.
and then the
It's in the
snake
perfume
venom.
too. Yeah.
It's in the perfume. I'm
Yeah.
remembering this. See,
Yep.
I'm like, but the message of the movie. So obviously, not obviously, like if you haven't seen it, if you're following me right now, at some point in the movie, they get their memories back because of the snake venom, and and Frida's played by Naomi Aki, and her best friend goes missing one night. Um,
Jess. Yes.
Jess goes missing, and she can't find her. And they're like, "Oh, where'd she go?" Whatever. I'm like, "Oh, doesn't matter. Let's drink. Let's have fun."
Well,
And
at
so,
first they like don't remember her. They're like, "Who's Jess?
so
Who's
that
Jess?"
that
And
started freaking me out.
and Frida remembers Jess, but nobody else remembers Jess. And then she finds the lighter that she has been sharing with everybody the whole damn movie.
The
Hmm.
liar, yes. And so she's like, okay, my friend was here. Like something is going on. She then doesn't she? That's where she goes. She discovers that room with all the gift bags, the
Yeah.
red gift bags. Which, by the way, Gina Davis's character is like kind of fumbling through these gift bags the entire movie. She's supposed to be Channing Tatum's like I don't know assistant or house manager or island manager.
Yeah.
And then there's also something I wanted to ask you about. I didn't know if there was a meaning or symbolism behind this like red couch that they kept moving around. It was like a sofa or chair.
I don't know if you noticed this in the movie, but they're all wearing primary colors until they, again, spoiler alert, drink the snake venom and they're in their robes and now they're not in primary colors. Like, cause it's got the white, it's got the yellow, it's got the red, it's got the blue. I mean, in the beginning, the girls are both dressed in the same dress, blue and red. Everything is either red or blue or yellow or white. And then as soon as they have this twist, different colors starts to pop out. So I don't know if I'm assuming they did that on purpose, but I'm not 1,000% sure because I could see the turn in the movie. I mean, obviously without the big thing, I could see the turn as well within
Yeah.
the set design and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's the thing. This is one of those movies that's smart. You can keep on watching it and dissect like that. There's very intentional details in this movie,
Absolutely.
and once you see these intentional details pay off or they get shown what they mean, you're like, oh gosh, there must be more, and so you
Hmm.
start kind of going down the rabbit hole, which is one of the big messages of this movie. It's forgetting is a gift. So she meets the medicine woman and she kind of gives her a bottle. She's like in this hut or whatever, and the medicine woman is calling Frida. It's just the two of them alone, and she says, red rabbit, I think, right? And then she hands her this bottle that she's drinking. She ends up drinking it. She's like, okay, I'll drink with you. I don't know why I should. Well, that bottle has the snake venom, and that snake venom suddenly makes her remember all of her past traumas and what she went through on that island like several times. And she's been basically abused, sexually assaulted, like all the girls on that island have been, and they're just not remembering because they're still taking that to Sanford. I forget
The
the name of the
perfume.
flower.
Yeah, yeah, the red perfume. Yeah.
Which I also have questions about some of the time, some of the kind of the timing issues with the effects of some of these things. Not that it matters, but I had some questions about how kind of like it worked differently in different times for things to take effect. But like, my God, the ending or in that third act when they all come together, like you were saying, and they all start kind of waking up on their own. Oh my God. Holy shit, Zoe, please direct another movie, please. This one, and we're not even talking about the camera work. One of that was brutal. It was okay. Here are the words I'm going to use. If this is even possible to make this happening, this is why my hat's off to the editors of this movie too. The scene where all the girls wake up and they're beating the shit out of these guys and basically getting their revenge and killing them, right? Or I think killing
Yep.
them. This is both brutal, visceral, gut wrenching. Um, it's also vindicating. It's also yes, but it's also extremely emotional at the same time. Like it was, you're experiencing all, and not to mention in the background they're playing Shaka Khan's "Ain't Nobody." I mean, I'm getting chill. What?
And
What did
a
I
more
did I just watch?
a majority of it too are all done in oneers. She did a lot of oneers, a lot of following, a lot of setting up like, you know, certain feels for certain scenes, but definitely a lot of oneers that I absolutely adored. And I'm so jealous. I wish I could do those. Just they were just stunning and gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah. And you get to be you it's like you're there. You know, you're
Hmm.
walking with them, you're following them, you're
Yes.
seeing it all. Yeah.
And yes, and that's when those scenes hit, and when you start getting those memories back, and you're watching it, you just feel like you're in a POV, or you're watching something that you shouldn't be watching, and it definitely had that impact where it's like, yeah, this happens, and even Shannon Tatum, he plays such a monster of a guy where he's so dangerous, it's like. Anytime they shot Channing Tatum close to any of the girls having a close up conversation, you just felt so uncomfortable. You're
Hmm.
just like the guy's smiling, but at any moment, and then he has a monologue where, where he's like apologizing, and it's just like because she ends up giving him the thing to forget, so then now he ends up forgetting, and then the Gina Davis of it all. Oh my god, that was enough. So the movie also, by the way, was predictable, but then it wasn't. It went to places I did not expect it to go to because I didn't expect the Gina Davis moment. Nope.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't foresee any of this coming. Could have been because I was absolutely exhausted, but I didn't foresee. The second time around too, I was kind of like, oh dang, I missed that. Oh okay,
Yes.
I see that. Like I was not. I was on that journey with them. I really was. I wasn't expecting any of that to happen. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, in the beginning of the movie, Frida's like in the bathroom and she's like scrolling on her phone. She has like she creates nail art. And she has like an Instagram page for her nail art. And so the beginning of the movie when it's like a lizard, right? That's like a nail art image of like one of her nails. I think is a lizard. But then you realize but when that medicine woman is calling her Red Rabbit, it's because she's been to the island before, and the nail art was a red. Am I getting that?
When she was there before, when she found the pictures, all the Polaroid pictures of all the
Oh my
victim
god!
stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god! It was
Yeah.
just like I normally am not like go watch this movie for fun or that was like a fun experience. But I it was it, if you are missing a good movie, a movie that makes you feel something with impact, go see Blink Twice. And if you're a filmmaker who is just, wants to study how to tell a story, uh, go see this movie as well. The performances, I mean, as an actor, I can appreciate just the levels that you have to go through as an actor emotionally because I know how to play. I've been trained on how to play a character who's going through it, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Who's going through it, or hasn't gone through it, but somebody does something right in front of you. They bring some of their ish, and now you're going through something that you didn't expect to go through. But how do you play a character who's gone through it but doesn't remember they gone through it, right? But pieces of those puzzles are leaking through, but not fully. But the character in the moment is not remembering that they're experiencing what they're experiencing behind the eyes. But we as an audience are seeing them experience something that the character is not experiencing. Did you get all that? Because those close-ups, man, Naomi Aki, come on now, and all those girls, come on now,
I thought
like
a lot of them had such brilliant character study and they just embodied those characters. They were so good. The girls that were high all the time, I mean, they were fantastic. Fantastic.
oh yeah, I'm affected by this movie right now. It's coming back.
Yeah.
It's coming back. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the powerful message of like forgetting is a gift is the theme throughout the movie. Oh, and by the way, she eventually gets him to forget, right? Like, and then ends up like I think coming back to the gala. So the movie bookends.
Yeah.
Now she's at the gala, but she is now taken over as like the president of his company and either married him or made him so that. But he's kind of like under the psychosis now of not remembering. But his friend like Rick or Mark or whatever his name is, like who was a therapist, right? Was he the therapist? The
No, it was the
Oh
other
no.
guy. It was the guy that was on because the therapist gets killed. It is the one of the guys that was on the island beforehand.
And he comes up to her and he's like, oh, tries to tell her, like, tries to gaslight, oh, you don't know who I am, right? Like, I never met you before. And she, whatever his name is, she's like, oh, yes, Rick, or whatever. Well, I don't forget what his name is, but she is just like, she's in her power. She's the president now of this company. And the movie just kind of ends there. So it kind of just ended there. But yeah, I felt like, uh,
Me
yeah,
me
yeah.
personally, I wish there was a different ending. That wouldn't have been an ending that I would have chosen. but I can understand why she went with that ending, you know. But
Well, it makes me think that they shot different endings. It makes me feel like they shot
oh,
this. I'm wondering if they shot different endings and they ended up going with that, or the studio made a decision or whatnot.
that
Maybe. Well, she didn't have any, like, they didn't have anything with them when they went on that plane.
no.
So how did she style her hair the other days? Because you see them swimming. So here I go, I'm like asking the questions that no one is asking.
You need to suspend your disbelief about those things.
You didn't drink anything with them. But it was very very well done. I did have another yeah. So I had a question about the sofa. And I had a question about like how the drug kind of worked, right? Because Gina Davis, like, she kind of was snapping out of it differently than she was doing shots with them,
Yeah.
but it was like it took like Frida a couple days, or I don't. I feel like people were not waking up in the same way. Does that make sense?
It might have taken effect, depending on how much of that scent that they had, that was in their system for the venom to kill it, or maybe because they were taking venom at different times than one another. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Well, the
Yeah.
time is very jumpy. It's like you're never really knowing what time it is, which is how the characters feel. That's why it's so
Yeah.
immersive. This movie is
Yeah.
very, very immersive. You don't know where it's going in the beginning. Like, you really don't know. And when it comes back around, you're just like, oh my God. And then there's this looming dread when you find out what's happening. And then you almost kind of want to pause the movie and make the movie not happen and have them go through it and all. And then Channing Tatum has a backstory that's never really like revealed. I don't
Yeah.
know if the movie even needed it, but there was like a mention of his sister and like how he didn't remember or she remembered and she was mad that he didn't remember or something like.
There was reference about abuse when they were kids. Yeah, and she remembered and he didn't, and he was like, "It's always a gift to not remember."
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I remember this movie. This is me adding some levity because it's a very heavy topic, and I thought it was executed well, and I mean, I'm glad that you got to see it because I now have somebody to talk about this movie with in real time because we've never
Yeah.
discussed this, but
No.
I
No.
think Zoe Kravitz did an amazing job, and she should be directing more. And Channing Tatum was perfect for this because I've never seen him in a role like this before. And I think I was expecting Channing Tatum to be more like Channing Tatum, but he had a presence, and uh, and he made my skin crawl too.
Cringe. Just so cringy. Absolutely. I just want to let you know I have 3% battery life right now.
Oh God, just in time knowledge. And if we do this, it's almost like we're not on the podcast. It's
Break
almost
the fourth wall.
like it's like, hey, Brett, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
We should, we should tell them to subscribe again.
We should, because now I'm down to 2.
All right, everyone. Please let us know your thoughts. Have you seen Blink Twice? What did you think about Blink Twice? Did you? Hey! And
Blink twice if you saw
Blink Twice
it.
if you saw it. And comment below if there is a movie review or a movie you'd like us to discuss on our podcast. We are open. We're building this podcast, so all topics are on the table. Thank you all for subscribing. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. We'll boost this algorithmically and get it out to the masses. Any last words?
Thanks, everybody. Love you.
Love you all. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.